All right, everybody, we're here with Dan from Run, Dan, Run. How's it going, man?
It's going well.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. So for those of you who haven't heard, we've been playing Lovesick Animal like crazy. You have probably heard it multiple times on the station. We're going to be playing it here in just a little bit, but we're going to take a minute to talk with Dan. So, how did you and the guys in the band get together? Because it's a really interesting sound you guys have cobbled.
Yeah, well, we got together first in 2006 and just kind of knew each other through different situations, other bands, and happened to go to we all went to the same college in Charleston, South Carolina, College of Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
And, myself and the drummer, we first did a little just recording, like demo, 3 songs of stuff that I wrote just for fun, not really with any intentions in mind, and it came out pretty good. And then we happened to show it to the guitarist, Ash, or the soon-to-be guitarist, and he really dug it. And through that, it took about 6 months to actually come into fruition, but then we finally played some shows, and it was officially a band.
Cool. Did you guys have a lot of love at first, or did it take a while for people to catch on to what you guys were doing?
I think, in Charleston, it's kind of it's a tough market. I'm compared to maybe some other markets. People are, or maybe it's the same, people are kind of fickle, So sometimes, felt like early on, we had definitely some buzz here in town, and then, we've also had some changes as far as the 2 guys in the band. They have moved to different, so we're all in different states now. The drummer lives in New York, the guitarist, he's in North Carolina, and I'm still here in South Carolina. So that kind of, I think, took some of our momentum down a little bit as just having to deal with being so far apart. We weren't able to play as much as we were when we initially got going in 2006, 2007.
You guys are doing great now. I've only recently just heard of you guys, but I've been listening to the album Normal, which is your most recent album, over and over again. I just caught your video for Lovesick Animal today.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys seem to have the momentum definitely going for you now.
Yeah, I would say so. We had been put this album together, took about a good solid year, and we released it locally first here in November 2011. But from that point, we began working with Team Claremont out of Athens, Georgia, and we set a national release date for January 10th and had been really pushing it hard with press and radio. So that probably is where all the momentum is coming from at the moment, and it seems like people are responding pretty well. We haven't, right now we're really focusing on then trying to keep things together, get in touch with radio and press, and put together music videos like the one you just saw that just went up. That's the first one. And really trying to tackle it that way. We'll probably be playing some shows, I think, in the springtime and summer when it's a little easier to coordinate everyone's schedules.
Right. So for those of you out there who are listening who haven't seen the video, Run, Dan, Run, Lovesick Animal, it's a strange video. How did it come about? It's very, very odd.
Odd? Well, I just had thought that a good, this single is very playful, and I wanted something that I thought would be playful, fun, has some meaning, but doesn't really have a clear storyline, perhaps. Nothing too heavy,
right?
Basically. And I'm really a big fan of the choppy style.
Yeah.
That the film is shot in. I also wanted something that was pretty easy to shoot. So most of the time, I'm just wearing a bear suit and running around, and it just takes myself and one other person to take care of that. We had to do the other the chorus and the party scene near the end with 11 other people, and we rented a little space here and shot that all in one room. And that was a little, of course, harder to coordinate. Well, you got to work with, the harder it is. But it was, I think I just wanted to kind of keep it simple. And really push the idea of just, we can all be lovesick animals, essentially. That's how it all ties together. I think that's the message underneath. I don't know if it comes through or not, but I thought, well, the honey bear costume, at least.
Yeah.
Bear doing everything that it does is it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. It was the first time that I've laughed out loud, audibly laughed watching a music video in a long time. It's strange, but it's strange in that good way where things are just kind of happening, and it is a good break. I never really realized how heavy music videos have gotten nowadays, but
yeah,
I saw it. I love this song. Of course, been listening to the song since the album came out, and it fit in perfectly. So you guys did a very good job with it.
Cool. Thank you.
You've talked a little bit about, trying to get some shows together. Is there anything that you're up to right now? Are you working on new music? Or are you trying to do anything other, just kind of in a holding pattern?
We've created our own label, Hearts and Plugs,
mm-hmm.
which features Run Dan Run, and then also the projects of the other guys in the band, Mr. Jenkins and Ashley Hopkins. And we also are working with a friend out of Columbia who's on board, the Lovely Few. So it's 4 of us, and we're trying to really, at the moment, get this going too as well, get this little independent label of ours while we've got some momentum with Run Dan Run, and we're hoping to just kind of collectively pool our resources together. And we all know one another, work with one another, and have been for several years now. And we just thought that, well, maybe we should kind of do it under a name, because I don't think we get as much done when we're all working separately.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a big, I think, a big place where we're putting our energy right now, as well as I do plan on doing a solo project here in the near future, which will also be represented by Hearts and Plugs, called Western Romantic. And that's going to be more similar, still the same songwriting, probably a little simpler. And my goal with that one's going to be to produce it in a way that I can play it live, because
right.
With the rest of the band being in Run Dan Run being so spread out, sometimes I'd like to play a little more often than we can.
Right.
And it'll be nice to have something that I can do that under and pull it off, because the record is fairly complicated, and it's certainly not just a power trio by any means. To do it live as one person is not going to create the same effect.
All right. Well, again, we're here with Dan from Run Dan Run. Here's the new single, Lovesick Animal. You can check it out online, the music video, which we've been talking about. And here it is, Lovesick Animal, by Run Dan Run.
animal. I've been a lovesick 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 animal. I admit that our love could save. I've been a lovesick animal.
All right. That was Lovesick Animal by Run Dan Run. We're here with Dan. You were talking before the song a little bit about putting together your own record label, and you've gotten yourself and everyone else in the band and a couple of other artists on board with that. You're seeing that more and more nowadays, people just jumping out there and starting their own labels. Is that something that you was a kind of a last resort, or was that something that you wanted to do?
It's always something that I think I've been toying with as far as just thinking about. And finally, just with this record, I've had some time. Certainly it took a long time to make, and then some time in really promoting it. I realized, well, rather than waiting on something to come through, why not just do your own thing, and spend some time trying to really create and build something. And I think that, it's just the state of music. You really do have to do a lot on your own, so you might as well have a name to do it under. So that's what we've been doing with this, I would say.
Yeah, and it's becoming, especially the way that digital downloading and everything is nowadays, the main major labels have kind of become superfluous. There's really no need to be on Virgin or to be on whatever. If you can get out there, you can get your music to the fans. Start your own label. You can hear it right now. I'm talking to you now, and you did it all yourself.
Yeah, well, we're still working through it, but I think it will be something rewarding in the future. And I kind of realized just with doing the PR campaign like we've done, and sitting here and talking with you, maybe at some point in the past, labels were certainly required. Like, I might not have, before the internet, been able to talk to you without being on a label, and that label coordinating it. But now that's certainly not an issue. So I do think that major labels, though it'd be maybe helpful, it's certainly not required. And I think that for the most part, artists, realistically, unless you're Lady Gaga or somebody, you are required to go in on your own, definitely at first. So you guys have just been particularly playing Lovesick Animal, or have you played some of the other tracks on the album too? Or?
Well, Lovesick Animal was the single that we've been hitting right now, but once this interview airs, we'll probably be getting ready to move on to the next track. Is there one specifically you want us to move on to?
Our second single has been Box Type Love, the next track on the album, track 3.
Cool. Well,
yeah,
awesome.
that'd be cool.
But well, anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap up, man. What do you guys been listening to?
Well, I can only speak for myself, I think, but yeah, I'm 100% a big fan of Broken Social Scene, and you can probably hear that influence on Lovesick Animal as well as throughout the album. I'm also really into Beach House.
Yes.
That I love the textures there. I really enjoy her voice. I like how they are able to blend percussion with like vintage drum machines. And there's a song I realized they're using 2 tambourines, which seems not to be that commonplace. There's just a lot of clever things going on. So I'm definitely been enjoying that. Teen Dream is what I listen to. I know it's not that new.
No, Lover of Mine, that song.
Yeah.
Oh my, it's unbelievable. that whole album is just front to back unbelievable.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, I really like Norway. I find myself, that's always the song that I want to play first.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually skip 1 and 2 and go straight to 3, and then I let it all loop around again. So I just keep coming. I'm the type of listener, I have to listen to something like 100 times and get sick of it before I move on to something else.
Absolutely.
I don't do the well, that album was good 3 times through, and then new album. I don't really listen to a whole lot of new music. I'm also a big fan of the Tori Moi, who is from South Carolina as well. I saw them live a few months back, and they were really cool live. Definitely, it was like a dance party. But I really enjoy what Chaz has done with how all these influences they blend exceptionally well. Things that I independently would not listen to, but when he puts them together, I'm in love with it. So those are probably some of the biggest albums or artists that I'm playing personally right now.
Well, it's an exciting time to be informed in music and to be out there actively searching for music, because there are a lot of amazing bands out there making music. A lot of people that maybe don't get the limelight per se that are making unbelievable music. And Run Dan Run, I think you guys are definitely in that group. The album Normal, it's unbelievable. As you just heard, we played Lovesick Animal. The whole album is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Taking the time to talk to me.
Awesome.